Welcome to the Billionaire Belief Show. This is Dhane Diesil, and I want to thank you for tuning in as always. Today, we're going to be talking about the storefront of the future, aka your online presence. I want to tell you a little story about something that's happening right now that a lot of business owners are oblivious to. So, let's get right into that. Your online presence, the storefront of the future. So, there's opportunity right now for business owners to tap into if you will just open your eyes and pay attention to what's happening around you. Smartphones are the new Main Street. When we look around, everyone's looking down. I like the way that rhymes. When we look around, everyone's looking down. Everyone's two eyeballs deep into their smartphone, and it's our bread and butter. Some of us can't function without it. There's moments in my life where I can't. And I'm pretty sure you might have moments as well. So if you're a business owner and you aren't realizing this opportunity you have at your fingertips, then pay attention because, like I said, there's a tremendous opportunity for you because with the attention now being centered online, that means that as paying customers in your local market think about different goods and services that they want to buy, they're resorting to their smartphones. They're resorting to their smartphones to make it happen. They're not necessarily pulling out the yellow pages. They're not necessarily asking friends. They're not paying attention to street signs that they see on a daily basis. But what they are paying attention to is their smartphones. So, as I said, smartphones are the new Main Street. And we all know in business how, in most small towns back in the day, especially, a Main Street was the place you went to get all your business done. It was where you went to go buy your groceries, any other supplies you needed. That's where you went to go to the bank. That's where you went to go conduct your business. That was Main Street was the centerpiece of commerce in most small towns and cities around the world. And nowadays, that Main Street is digital and you access it through a smartphone. So it's very important that, as a business owner, you take some time to really understand, the importance of being found and being visible where the attention is at. Because if you're having a problem, which a lot of business owners are having, and that problem is a lot of them are worried about closing. And why are they worried about closing? They're worried about closing because business just isn't how it used to be, quote unquote. Customers aren't coming in. Customers aren't just spending freely. Customers are a lot more conscious of how they're spending their money. They're going through their offers and going through products with fine tooth combs. And so these business owners are worried. It pains me when I'm driving down the street and I, pass a business that I either went to or that I just knew was there, and then I see that it's closed. Or I pass by and I see that it's they're having a going out of business sale, especially if it's a small business, because those are the backbones of America. The small business owners are the ones who provide most jobs to most people working, and so everyone's not cut out to be an entrepreneur. Everyone's not cut out to be a business owner. Everyone's not cut out to be an investor. I get that. But for those of us who are, as well as those of us who have already began, we can't drop the ball on this humongous opportunity we have at our fingertips. The power of the smartphone. Like I said before, Main Street is now digital, and the way that you access it isn't through a car; it's through your smartphone. And so you have to be visible, as a business owner. So if you have a business right now, whether you have a storefront or not. You're working out your house, or not. If you have a business, if you're not online, if you don't have an online presence, then you're pretty much invisible to the world, especially to your local market. And talent doesn't matter. You have to play the game. The market doesn't care how good you are per se, if you aren't taking the time out to make sure that people can find you. So if you want to overcome the problem, then you're going to have to build a strong online presence, because that is the solution. So when people are accessing their smartphones, when they're on there doing whatever they're doing, when they're looking down, when you look around, everyone's looking down, you know, you have to be present where they're at. You have to be present where the attention at. And, you know, the type of business that you have, that really doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, regardless of your industry, everyone's online because everyone has smartphones. We can do look into. I mean, you're gonna have to do your own research into how many people have cell phones. But I do know that I do recall recently reading an article where they were talking about smartphone usage in India, and how that's the next frontier. Billions of people, and a very small percentage of them are have smartphones. So smartphones are big. They're the future. Everything is going digital for the most part, and it's not going to go back. We're not going to go backwards. We're only going to move forward. So you as a business owner, you now is the time to take time to invest in building a strong online presence for your business. And an online presence is ultimately anything a person sees when they directly search for your business via your business name or your street address, or when they search for what your business has to offer. So if, for example, you're a Mexican food restaurant, and your Tito's Mexican food, when people type in Tito's Mexican food into their Google search bar, for example, when they hit enter, and whatever comes up would be the online presence for Tito. So Google more than likely is the platform that most people are using to search for your products and services. So you can't underestimate the importance of it. And like you say, when people search and they see those search engine results, that's money right there. That represents money. And this is why building a strong online presence is important. If you know what your average customer value is, then understand that that's ultimately the potential cash you have to earn, when people find you online. So don't underestimate the importance of it. Don't underestimate the value of it, and understand that, this is real. Real people with real dollars are making real searches in their local market for goods and services to buy. And if you don't show up, your competitor will. And God forbid your competitor be, a business on the other side of town, or, halfway around the country or across the world. Because once again, that's what the internet has done. It's leveled the playing field. But now you have to participate. You can't not do it. It's no longer a luxury. It's a necessity. So what are the key takeaways here? Like I said before, don't underestimate your online presence. It's important. If when people, like I said, we have hundreds of millions of people on a day-to-day basis using their smartphones to search in their local market for goods and services to buy. Right now, today, there were hundreds of thousands of searches made for what your business has to offer. But the question is, were you visible? Did you show up? And so that's what an online presence is going to help you do. It's going to help you show up. It's going to help you stand out. It's going to help you be there, because image is everything. Like I said, we as human beings are visual creatures. So, we will pay attention to what we see at the end of the day. So if I'm searching for, enchiladas, my city, I live in, Inglewood, California. So enchiladas, Inglewood, California, if Tito's restaurant, doesn't have an online presence that they've actually optimized as well by making sure that they're using the proper keywords, then it's, they could be right down the street from me. But if the Mexican food restaurant, on the other side of town has taken the time out to build a strong online presence, and when I use those search terms, they showed up, then I'm going to unfortunately go to them. Tito could have got the money, but underestimate the importance of an online presence. So don't do that. And understand, like I said, image is everything. We're visual, so what we see is what we think we're going to get. I don't mean you embellish, but just know that what we see is what we think we're going to get. And last but not least, we have to be active. We can't lollygag. We can't continue to kick the can down the line. So take it serious. And know that your online presence is important, and the more active you are, which means the more content that you're going to have out there, which means that the better the probability of you searching up, you showing up when people are using specific searches for what you have to offer. So what are the next steps? Do your research. So right now, once again, Mexican food restaurant, if you're, like I said, Inglewood, California, if you're a Mexican food restaurant owner in Inglewood, California, right now, go to Google, type in Mexican food restaurant, and then do your research, because those results represent money, paying customers, only paying Mexican food restaurants near me. Like who's going to use, only a paying customer is going to do that. Someone that's hungry. Their stomach is growling, feed me. They have money in their bank accounts and they're looking for someone to spend it on. So just make sure it is you. So do your research, like figure out, what the competition is like. See if there even is some competition, because what you'll soon realize is that once again, the opportunity is there. I read a statistic that still roughly, half of business owners still don't have an online presence. They still don't have a website. So there's tremendous opportunity for growth right there. Next, plan your build. So after you've done your research, you've seen what's out there, take some time to write down, what your plan is going to be. Write down, some ideas that you have when it comes to, how you can set your online presence up in regards to imagery, the type of photos you want to include, as well as the type of content that you want to share. And as well as most importantly, the keywords that need to be placed throughout your content so that your pages show up when people search using those specific terms. Once again, you're a business, so make sure you have all your basic business information on point. That's kind of like a given, but common sense ain't really so common from time to time. But make sure you have the basic business information, your phone numbers, your addresses, your emails, your hours of operation, as well as anything that might be industry specific, such as certification numbers or permit, licensing numbers, things like that. But plan out your build, get a feel for how you want things to look like, and then next, stay active and consistent. So once again, you have to put the work in, because that's content is how you build the presence. Content is what is what fuels your growth, because the more content that you put out, that's obviously content that people in your market want to consume, and is of some useful value to them. But you just have to take the time to stay active and be consistent, because the content matters. Now, if you're a business owner, then 9.9 times out of 10, you're running a business. So the likelihood of you having the time after you've put in a good, 10 to 12 hour day to then now go home and sit in front of a laptop or a computer on your smartphone and, post, content online and, do that kind of stuff, reach out to people, that's the probability that happen is slim to none. So you have to hire out, because more than likely the people who you already have hired to work in your business, once again, are helping you run the business. And secondly, they probably don't feel like stepping up anyway. So you're going to have a consultant, more than likely, or, a company that you work with to help you with this, because you're not going to be able to do it alone, especially if you want to stay active and consistent with your online presence. So that being said, once again, your online presence is important. It's the storefront of your future. I mean, this the future storefront for business owners. Image is everything. Take some time to package yourself up properly. Make sure your image is consistent throughout your online presence, from your website, to your social media profiles, to your business directory listings. Those are pretty much the core, represent the core of what people will see when they do search for your business online. So once again, business directories, your websites, and your social media profiles. And when it comes to social media, just focus on the big four: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Those are the big ones you want to be on. Those are the ones that get the most traffic. That's where most of the attention is at. So be there or be invisible. Thank you once again for tuning into the Billionaire Belief Show. Pretty sure you have some questions, some feedback. So feel free to use the comment section below to drop that information, or you can shoot me an email, billionairebelief@gmail.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. That's how, we grow the channel, get the word out, help your friends learn about us. That's how you can tell a friend, tell a stranger to tell a friend about us, just by, liking the video, subscribing to the page, and just sharing the video on your profile. And last but not least, don't forget to join the mailing list. So click on the link below to learn more about Billionaire Belief, so you can become an insider and be tapped in for the exclusive information and content that I will be releasing. Like I said in previous videos, cooking up some good stuff for you guys, and I definitely want it to be for those who have taken the time to invest in me. I'm gonna invest in you. So it's on. There's certain things I'm only going to be releasing to my mailing list. So make sure that you're there. And all in all, like you said, I appreciate you once again for tuning in. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at BBWCN, and on Facebook at Billionaire Belief. And like I said, subscribe to the YouTube channel and tune in, man. I'm doing this for you. So as always, soar above it all and create your own wealth. This is Dhane Diesil, out.